morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're playing around with Klevgrand's brand new
Grand Finale 2. Oh, yeah.
But first, we're going to kick off with a song from tomorrow's special guest on the show, who happens to be Chris Lane Sr. will be here with me on the show tomorrow. This is his song called Faded. would hate to be on Chris Lane Sr.'s naughty list. What's going on, folks? Welcome to the show. Chris Lane Sr. with Faded as he fades out there into obscurity and with some backing vocals by me. He's on the show tomorrow, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to find out about the man, the myth, the hair, the fan, all of that, and his songwriting and his whole how we got into music and all that jazz, like we do with our interviews. A nice in-depth chitter-chatter with the man himself tomorrow. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS, where every day we take a look at apps and music making, video creation, mental health and well-being, interviews with great people, and on the weekend I may sing a few songs or so and all that jazz. I hope you're all doing well. I want to send a warm welcome, as always, to our Wart Warriors who spend $1 a month to be a part of the Wart Warriors and get a little emoji. I can announce to you guys who are Wart Warriors, this maybe not next week, I think the week after, we are doing another trivia show. And it is, last time we did a trivia show, a private stream for all the Wart Warriors. Last time the trivia show was about people in the music community here, as Hippie would say, the community. Boom. And it was really successful. We had heaps of people. It was really fun. It was hilarious. This time around, we're going to make it a bit more interesting, bit different. We're going to have general music questions. We're doing a general trivia thing in maybe not next week, the week after. And then for Christmas, for the Wart Warriors, we're doing a special Christmas roast show where you send us your tracks and we will rip the shit out of them. Sound like a good time? It was last time we did it. It was heaps of fun. So that's what's coming out for Wart Warriors. Let's say hello to you all here in the chat. I want to thank you for being here. It'd be Metal, Leela, Reality, Metalhead Happy, boom, boom. Yes, Princess, we have a roast where you send your music in and we tear the shit out of it. It's good times. Tremor Bear, Nino Beats, Valerie Bart, hello. Princess LDG, Thomas Christ, Cy, effing good to see you. Always effing good to see you. Riffler, John, who's coming on the show. I'll email you this weekend coming, John, for next week's interview. So we got the dev, John from Riffler, coming on the show next weekend for an interview. We're going to pick his brains about apps and guitar and all that jazz. It's going to be super cool. You're going to want to see that. Let's flick over here so my ugly head is off the screen. Who else do I haven't said hello to? There's quite a few of you. I don't know. Let me scroll. Jerry Gomes is here. Auntie G's rocking it. Joe Glenn's here. Hello to you, Joe. What do you know? Gregory O'Sullivan, who just had a premiere with Welton Kinder, Eileen, and Epiphonium. See, my memory works. Kind of. Sort of. Is there anyone else I've missed who said hello early? And I put your name up. Mix Club, Rhett just had a live stream as well. If you haven't subscribed to Mix Club, go do so. He's a wealth of knowledge on mixing and mastering. You will want to be there. You will want to be at his streams, and he'll be coming on the show also for an interview as well, because he's an extremely fascinating and knowledgeable person. Somebody more people should pay attention to on his YouTube channel. All right, let's cover a few things before we get into today's app. So I made a purchase yesterday, well, a few days ago, and it arrived yesterday. Let's see, there it is. It's kind of, I got this thing. I got this Rode Boom arm. So I got this brand new Boom arm, and wow, it's so nice. I have never really spent a lot of money on a Boom arm before. And it's really, it's thick, man. It's really cool. So it's all the cables all attached to it. It's probably the best arm that I've ever owned. You really didn't need to see that. I just wanted to hit boom every time I said boom. It is the PSA 1 Plus, Hippie. It is the PSA 1 Plus. Because I have a PSA 1 over on this side over here. But fancy stuff. It was on sale, so I couldn't resist. And even though I hardly even use it because I got the headset for these shows. All right, there's other things to cover quickly before we get into the show. iOS, Apple just dropped an update for iOS, guys, for iPad and iPhone. It just dropped literally an hour ago. 16.61 if you're on 16.1. It's security updates. The two updates that are involved in it is for advertising. So it's for Apple's advertisers weren't getting statistics. So that's not important. Who gives a shit? But the other one is important. So if you're on 16.1, probably worthwhile. It's only a small update. It's only 193 megabytes. It's on the iPhone as well. Go check. It's there. No big major changes or anything, just security stuff. Thought I would let you know so you know, yep. They haven't fixed all the major issues that are with 16 yet. Hopefully they will come in 16.2. Yeah, what's going on, Dan Eckberg? Fam, what's going on? Fam Priam, what's going on, my friend? Long time no see. All right, let's go Zoom and get rid of these comments. I have a quick look over here at price drops and stuff like that. Nothing's really changed from yesterday. We are into the land of Black Friday, so a lot of stuff's on sale. Swar plug is free. Get it. It's good. Swam instruments are 35% off. Not a lot of changes from yesterday. Synthmaster 1 is still free until the 15th. They actually just did an update for it as well. Also, I'll tell you another app that was updated was Riffler. It's now got dark mode, and damn, does it look sexy in dark mode. A whole bunch of MIDI fixes and stuff like that. So that's really cool. It looks damn sexy in dark mode. Let me tell you that. I wanted to take it out to dinner and give it a good goddamn if you know what I mean. But I'll settle for a drink instead. That's the Riffler update. Where am I going, dude? I thought you'd dig that, John. MK Sensation Extreme, Neo Soul Keys Impulsion, Impulsation, all on sale. Nimbrini, all their apps are on sale. Go get them. Go get them. Stick them everywhere. Have a good time. It's a good time. I was being polite, Coldacre. I was being polite. But anyway, I trust you to say that. Anyway, so lots of updates there. We are looking at today. Today, we're looking at grand finale. Now, I wish I had more information for you. I did reach out to Klevgrand today, last night before I went to bed, just to find out if I could get a bit of juice on this bundle that's coming. I keep hearing it around the traps. I haven't heard anything from them specifically, but apparently, if you've got grand finale 2, they're going to drop a bundle so you can buy grand finale. If you've got grand finale 1, they're going to drop a bundle, which is, I don't know, I've heard people say it's going to be free, and I've heard people say it's going to be half the price. I can't tell you. They haven't got back to me. I just checked my emails again, but there is a bundle coming. Anyway, this is $9.99. This is significantly, I believe, much better than Grand Finale 1. I used Grand Finale 1 when it first came out, but I don't know. I moved on to other things. I kind of didn't like the fact that everything was, because Klevgrand are very well known for their algorithms kind of being secret sauce, you know what I mean? So everything's a bit secretive and under the cover and just does shit magically. And that's what I didn't like about Grand Finale 1, that, you know, I want to have more control over my mastering apps. But this kind of addresses that stuff. It is a bit of overkill, as you're going to see, but you can tame this. You can really tame this beast. Plus, it's AUV3, all right? So there's that. Okay, so we are going to open up a couple of... So how should we begin this today? I don't have an example of anything. What we're going to do is we'll open it as a standalone first. Grand Finale 2. Now, I have heard somewhere as well that Grand Finale 1's not working. I don't know if that's true. I haven't opened it as such on this iPad Pro 2022. I'm too scared because there's a whole lot of apps that aren't working on 16.1, which sucks, but it is what it is. So you will notice the interface is quite lovely. It's very bright. It looks much more inviting. Everything seems clearer. Again, we have these little arrows off the bat telling us how the signal chain works, right? So you can see we've got a signal in, we've got a compressor. Let me just say too, there's a lot of compressors on this. All right, let's talk about this first. So mastering music. Now, I know Rhett is well known for mastering music. He's a pro, and he doesn't use a lot of compression when mastering. I don't really use too much compression when mastering because hopefully you've mixed your music really well and you've used your compression well to mix your song, and you shouldn't need to use too much compression when you're mastering. And there's 3 compressors in this. It's a lot. We've got a compressor here, we've got a multi-band compressor, and we've got a compressor over here. It's 3. It's 3. So I would probably tame that back. Now, what you're going to notice with this too is the presets are very boom. They're very loud. They bring your mixes up quite loud. When I'm going to use this, I'm going to use this my way. I'm not going to use too many of the presets because I'm probably going to back off a lot of the compression and, All right, so we've got a signal in. Oh, I want to touch on this too before we get into the explanation of everything. With the little I button here up the top, when you click on this, it takes you to this little Klevgrand thing. And so my first gripe, read the manual. So I click on it, read the manual, because I need to learn how to use this app. I've got to do a show on it. And I'm waiting for the PDF to open. I'm like, cool. While I'm waiting for it to open, hello, Welton Kinder, great premiere you just had on your channel. Andy Goldsby, hello. Cold Acre to you. Anyone I've missed. So here we go. It opens up and look, it's the instructions for Grand Finale 1. What's happening? Klevgrand, you got to fix this, man. You got to fix this. I don't want the instructions for Grand Finale 1. I want it for number 2. But I guess, here's the thing. Grand Finale 2 is Grand Finale 1. I don't even know if they're going to keep number 1 around. I think it's going to disappear. I have a feeling. Anyway, so there's that. So what I had to do was pop over to their website, which is here. And so here it is. So this is available on PC and Mac as well, all that jazz. Well, I do, Andy. I read instructions. I have to. I can't just like get up here and just go, blah, 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 and hope for the best. So what I had to do was down here, when you scroll to the bottom on their website, you've got the Mac version, you've got Windows version, you've got a user manual PDF for Grand Finale 1, I think it is. And this is the only one I could find. The user manual for Grand Finale 2.0 on desktop. So there we go. So I downloaded that and saved that in my documents here. There it is. And virtually it's pretty much the same instructions with different pictures. So I kind of understand now why, because it is a very similar app. Some of the algorithms are a little bit different. The way it looks is a little bit different, but it is overall similar. So I have a feeling they're going to discontinue the original Grand Finale. So I think that's why when they drop the bundle, you may get it cheap or you may get it free, whatever they decide to do. So I feel weird. I would love to give you an exact answer, but I don't know. After this show, maybe just hold off until they do it. Thanks, Metalhead Hippie, for the super chat there. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you so much. Princess LDG has always got a question. The princess always has a question. I got to bow to the princess, royalty. How much cloud storage is good to get for backing up music projects? That's totally. How much music do you make, and do you have several devices to back up things? I use for my system. I use Apple One. I pay the $30 9, which has just gone up too. Everything's just gone up. I pay for the Apple One, which I get games, news, fitness, 2 terabytes of space, and Apple Music and stuff. It seems to be the most value, and 2 terabytes. Mind you, I think I only have about 400 gig left of my 2 terabytes, but I have a lot of shit on there. I have 5 devices doing backups and a lot of photos and videos. I think I've got like 25,000 photos and videos up there. So here are the instructions. So at least we have this, and you can save this to your Bizzo, whatever that means. Let's jump over back to Grand Finale. So as a standalone with this, you can import your own WAV files so you can master your stuff within the standalone. That's all cool. So we'll ditch whatever's in here. Let's import something straight away. We'll import an audio file from Audio Share. Now I have a couple of songs we'll mess with today. I've got Pete Johns' Songtember song, Grown Ass Man, which we'll mess around with. Okay, so we have a signal chain, signal in. And here's where you'll find also, I'll have to zoom in. Here's another thing. Let's talk about it, the elephant in the room. The text on some of these apps is just tiny. Look at it. It's tiny. It's tiny. This is the price we're paying for desktop apps being ported to iOS, unfortunately. I don't know where, and Klevgrand seems to be over the years getting smaller with their text. Yeah, for blind people, help us, Klevgrand. But yeah, here's where you'll find all of your main presets in the signal in, and you've got master presets, bus presets, drums, vocals, bass, and your own user presets that you can save. So in your signal chain here also, you have your dB input. So you've got your input volume. You also have a high pass filter, which you can turn on and off. So straight in, you've got a high pass filter. You've got, you can change the hertz here as well. So the high pass filter is automatically on. We have a compressor, so we've got a global compressor. There's our global. And with each of these functions, much like the original, you've got a few little presets in here as well. So, you know, gentle, hard compression, and a default. Pretty standard stuff. We've got a multi-band compressor. So the way the chain works as well, you can see the arrows here. We're going from left to right. And once we hit the multi-band, we're going down to the width and then across to the equalizer and then to the master out. Plus, if you want to use this additive signal path, this will work in the signal chain as well. All right. So once it gets to the master out as well, everything goes to the master out, and then the limiter is last. And the limiter, there's no like level on the limiter. It's locked to 0 dB. All right. Be very clear on that. The limiter when on, so you've got a little on button here. When on is locked to 0 dB. End of story. Can't mess with it. Again, this is Klevgrand. They use their secret sauce. If you want something that's a little bit more, you know, handsy, like your uncle that you hate, who always kisses you when no one's around. What? Am I live? What's going on? Anyway, so that sent me in a bad place. You're that uncle, are you? Uncle Ed. Just like Uncle Ed. Don't be like Uncle Ed. Anyway. So, yeah, the limiters are all locked in there. So, shall we hit play with Pete's track here?
Never one for going hard. Never had a fear of missing out. Never happy in a crowd. And I know I'm not the done all that I can. Please take me home. Never had to see the lights. Never had an urge for starting fights. Kinda happy on my own. And I know I'm surely not alone. 'Cause I just don't have a plan. Please take me home. I've had all I can stand. Please take me.
I'm just going to let this play.
And you won't hear a sound. You'll awake and wonder what the time is. It's only 10 p.m. I'm a grown-ass man. Please take me home. I've done all that I can. Please take me home. I just don't have a plan. Please take me home. And I've had all I can stand. Please take me.
All right, for those of you in the chat, how did that sound? Give us your honest opinion. Were there any problems with that you could hear from your time making music? I'm going to throw it out to you guys. Now, all I did was turn on the gentle master. That was just a gentle master. Anything you could hear in there that sounded wrong when I turned that on, or right, or did it sound good? Was it pleasing to your ears when I turned that on? Honest opinions, throw them out there. Please do so. I'm interested to hear what you think, to see if absolutely, I knew you'd get it right. Crushed, man. Crushed. That was gentle, man. And that was crushed to the fuck. Sorry. If it sounded nice, maybe you need to go back and listen to it again. It was way too crushed. There was so much compression on there, and we were pulling in 6 dB of luffs. Man, it was loud and squashed. We had so much compression. We got compression on at 68. We've got compression going on over here at 65. We've got multi-band compression going on. It was so squashed. And you could probably hear, if you go back and listen to it, it sounded like it was pumping, right? Which is a sound that people go for with a lot of electronic music. If you're listening to an iPhone, forget it. Forget it, right? You want to hear what loud sounds like. Let's do it. You ready, Auntie G? Pretty similar. There's not too much change between it. This is why I said at the beginning of this show, this is really good, right, being used with your own signal chain. Create your own presets is what I believe with this. There's a whole bunch of stuff I would leave out of this. I would turn off. I would probably even skip the multi-band compressor. It is what it is. You can do things the way you want to do things. Because the one thing that's really good about this, let's talk about it. So we've got our signal in, we've got a compressor, we've got a multi-band compressor. It goes down to our width. So this is a stereo width. And then we have an equalizer, which has bass and treble. And then it goes down to our master out. So if we had all this turned off over here, forget this. This isn't even, look out, we've got a bot. We've got a bot, folks. We've got a bot.
Why do I need a sex bot when I have Jade?
Ron sounded a bit tired. What the fuck? Sound a bit bot, a bit broken. Right. So now the beautiful thing about this app is that it has a LUFS meter. Right. So if you don't know what a LUFS meter is, this is our perceived loudness. Now, when you're mastering music and sending this to digital platforms, the digital platforms have a preferred LUFS amount, right? Before they want you to send their music Like Spotify says, we want you to send your music mastered to this loudness because they want consistency across their entire platform, right? Apple do the same, Amazon do the same, right? So they all have this standard. Unfortunately, the standard is different for everyone. The standard's different. So you've got Apple wants, I think, 16. Spotify looks for 14 LUFS. It's bizarre. It's a strange thing. So with that master we had going on there, we were pushing 6 LUFS, outstandingly loud, really loud. So if there was already pumping with that that preset. So by the time that, because it sounded horrible. So by the time, if you use that as a master and then sent that off to Apple, they're going to compress the absolute shit out of it even more, and it's going to sound even worse. So this is why, with this particular app, you have to kind of reel it in. And you know what? These apps are great, like Final Touch and like Grand Finale. They give you all of this stuff. They give you compressors. They give you multi-band compressors with equalizers, all that kind of stuff. They give you all of it. That doesn't mean you have to use every bit of it. It doesn't mean that. It means less is more. Yeah? Less is more. So you have to think about stuff and think about the particular song that you're what kind of style of music it is, how much how much velocity there is in the song, how the dynamics work. If it's a death metal song, can you afford to really push it a little bit louder? Because the target you want to aim for with LUFS, with mastering, and I promised I wasn't going to talk about this today, about mastering and LUFS, but you kind of have to, is around 12.5 to about 14.5. And you're going to be okay with your services, right? But if you're doing a metal song and it's coming in at 8 LUFS, it's bloody loud, man, and they're gonna crush it. They're gonna crush it once they get a hold of it. And there's a fantastic website you can go to if you don't know about this when you are mastering music called Loudness Penalty. Okay, and all you need to do with this is go to loudnesspenalty.com, select a file, and send your file up there, and it'll tell you how loud your file is and how it works with the streaming service. So I'll show you one of my songs I mastered. We'll look for my Metheus track, which I released recently, if I can find it. Metheus master. Here it is. This is my Metheus master. Oh, I love you all too, you weirdos. So here we go. This is the loudness penalty of my track. Now I went a little bit louder than 14 LUFS. You can see here, this is telling me that I'm 1.6 decibels over the amount that YouTube recommends. And this one is 1.6 over, 1.6. Apple's a little bit more, right? But I thought, this is metal. I want it a little bit louder. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It might get, compressed a little bit, but that's all right because it's metal and it's all right. And there was already no pumping in it or anything like that, so it was fine. But around, so this is a really handy website to look for. Now, if I go in here, just to show you, now I'm not shitting on this app or anything. Just remember that we're just talking about ways to get the best out of this app if you're going to purchase it, right? So if we take Pete's song right now and we use this gentle master and don't touch it, let's just go in here. And we're going to go to our export. And this is really nice too. So you've got the option to go with 16 or 32-bit with your exporting here. So we'll go 32-bit. I read that it has 24, but I can't see 24 in here. So that's interesting. So now I can save this to audio share. And look at that. That's not what you want. Now, I know people say, don't mix with your eyes. But with this, mix with your eyes. That's a shit mix. All right? I'll tell you, that is awful. If you've got anything that looks like this, put it in the bin right now. Because it's flat. It is totally flat here. You don't want these square edges up the top here, you know. So and that was just set to a gentle master. So now I think you're starting to see how powerful, how strong these presets are. So now even if we go over to let's see, loudness penalty, no dynamics whatsoever. Exactly right, Welton Kinder. So now we'll go over. Let's load up that track to loudness penalty. Where is it? I can't even see where it's gone. It's not in here. What's it called? It would be Metheist. Metheist. What is the date? It's the 10th of the 11th. Can I go by date? Is it set to date? It's set to date. What's going on? Here it is. 10th and 9th. Date. There it is. I guess that's it. Oh, this grown ass man. Sorry, I'm off my bean. I'm off my bean. Sorry, guys. There it is. Grown ass man. Let's load it. Let's look what loudness penalty says. Loudness penalty says. That's what loudness penalty says. Do not use this song. It's fucked. It's totaled. Let's listen to it. Terrible, 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 terrible. Right? So let's see if we can tame this beast in a little bit. Yeah? Oh, hippies in on the luff jokes now. Oh, God, luff you all. All right. So let's have a play with it. Let's hear it by itself. Now, just so you know, even the default here is doing things. Even the default has some things happening here because we've got this gain here. So we can talk about this in a second. We've got this multiband compressor has gain added. And I'll show you the file. This is what we're working with. This is the track. This is Pete's mixdown. As you can see, there's a lot of room here, right? This mixdown is kind of what I look for in a mix before I master it. We've got all this headroom. See, lots of space there to give it some volume and to let the mastering do its thing. Because mastering's not just about volume. It's not, but trust me. It's about dynamics. It's about bringing out the voom out of the track after it. And it's not about changing the track, right? Because when you mix a track, you're settled on a great sounding track. But it's about just putting a bit of shine on it. It's a bit of spit and shine on top just to make it pop. That's what mastering's about. And it happens to add a little bit of loudness to it as well. So let's go over here and see if we can play around with a couple of these things. Let's turn some of these things off. Let's turn off this width and this equalizer. We won't use any of this. And so as you can see here, our LUFs are currently set at 18. So we've got some room to add some volume. Yeah? Nice.
Never one for going
17.
hard.
We've got a limiter on
Never
there.
had a fear of missing out. Never happy in a crowd. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm a grown-ass man. Please take me home. I've done all that I can. Please take me home. Never had to see the lights. Never had an urge for starting fights. Kinda.
So you can hear clearly there with the equalizer, there's a fair bit of power there. When I bring up that bass, have a listen to how much bass gets added.
Happy on my own. And I know I'm surely not alone. 'Cause I just don't have a plan. Please take me home. I've had all I
And even the
can
treble
stand. Please take me.
brings those hats up. We'll just give them a little bit of a nudge, just for fun.
So I creep up the back stairs and you won't hear a sound. You'll awake and wonder what the time is. It's only 10 p.m. I'm a grown-ass man. Please take me home. I've done all that I can. Please take me home. I just don't have a plan. Please take me home. And I've had all I can stand. Please take me.
I couldn't hear anything pumping there or anything too loud. You know, and I'm not going for anything too fancy with this. This doesn't need to explode and have all this compression piled onto it. I mean, you can get in here and do all of this. I'll explain how the multi-band compressor works in a second, but just for fun, I'm just going to shoot this over just for fun. Because remember, with mastering, it's not about just turning up all the dials. It's about subtlety, right? Like everything. See, now look at that. We've got, you saw the original. There's the original down there. Whoops, this one here. And here's this one. So we'll probably give it a little bit more power in there as well. How do we check? How do we see the luffs? How do we see what it's all doing? Well, there's apps that do that. So let's just open up something like Neon at the moment and just give it a bit of a tickle. See what's going on. We'll import that into Neon. Neon's really handy for this kind of stuff. Gives you a little luffs meter. What is this song called? Grown Ass Man or something like that. There it is. Grown Ass Man. And we'll check the luffs. And there we've got 15.7 luffs. So we've got plenty of room there to even give that a bit more guzz. And this is the beautiful thing about mastering, yeah? You've got as many tries as you want till you get it right. So that's cool too, right? I'm going to hit play.
Never one for going hard. Never had a fear of missing out. Never happy in a crowd. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm a grown-ass man. Please take me home. I've done all that I can. Please take me home. Never had to see the lights. Never had an urge for starting fights. Kinda happy on my own. And I know I'm surely not alone. 'Cause I just don't have a plan. Please take me home. I've had all I can stand. Please.
Okay, just going to export this for fun. Again, I'm not doing anything. And then we'll open it up as an AUV3 and show you can open this up in any track you like. But let's talk about that. Do you need to open up something like this in every single track? That's probably going to be a bit too loud. But that's all good. Shall we see? See, I've gone too far this time. It's very, I'll tell you what is with this, it's very touchy. It's very, very touchy. Exactly like that uncle we talked about earlier on. Oh dear. 12.56, you could probably get away with that. Cool. That's probably a bit too loud. Probably 13 you want, something like that. Let's just go in here one more time. Clear this. And it is very, very touchy, I swear to God. I'm going to take out some of this distortion. Give this, yeah, that'll do. Let's go, boom. Shoot that off. Yeah, look, if you're doing a project and you're using this on every track, you're doing it wrong. It's great that it's AUV3. It's great that it's AUV3, but guess what? Again, less is more. It's interesting that I can see a lot of people probably seeing, oh, I can add this to the vocals. I can add this to this. I can add it to everything. And then you've got a whole project full of an app that is called a finishing app. They actually call it that in the name. This is finishing software. So, I mean, feel free to do it. You don't have to use all the parts in there. But yeah, it is a finishing app. So, you know, try to contain yourself, but we will open it up as an AEV3 and we'll try it out on Princess's song next. Yes, Princess. We're picking on you today. We're picking on you. There we go. 13.72 LUFS. Right? And it's not pumping or anything like that. It's got no problems. It's just given a little bit of a feel. And like what Russ does as well, and what Mix Club suggests too, pre-mastering is a really good idea too. So to get in there and do a pre-master, and just you've done a mix, and just something like Bark Filter is really good to do a pre-master, and then pop it in your mastering. So you don't want to overwork it. You don't want to throw everything in the kitchen sink. I can't reiterate that enough. Let's load that in here with the one we just did for Pete. This could be even better than the one we did for Pete, the one I actually did in Lessons. Let's have a look. And what are we going to get? So there we go. So to Apple, to YouTube and Spotify, this is fine. This is absolutely sweet for them. They got no problem with this. Apple's always going to be a little bit over because, as I said, the standard of LUFS that they accept is a little bit different. And, I mean, if you're going to sit here and master a song for YouTube and Spotify and Tidal and then do one for Apple, you can't, because you have to upload one file to your digital distribution services. So find a happy medium. Just make sure your songs aren't pumping and you'll be good. But, yeah, these presets are pretty hectic. So let me show you here in AUM that you can use this as let's open an audio track, and we'll let's bring in a track. So you can do this in AUM, you can do this in Cubasis, you can do it in GarageBand, but you're not going to want to do it in GarageBand, because remember, GarageBand adds auto normalization for some reason. And so if you add this if you mix your track in GarageBand and then pull the file back into GarageBand and then add this to your GarageBand mix track and then mix and then export it, it's going to add auto normalization on top of the mastering. So don't do that. Don't do that. It's stupid. Hey, Zach, what's going on? What am I looking for now? I'm looking for, let's find this Princess LDG song, which I'm working on at the moment. Is Meeting in Neon better? They're the same, Nino. They're the same. You're going to get the same results. I've done it on my Patreon and shown the both. Same results. So, yeah. I just find it easier to, I mean, you know, Ulean's great as well. Ulean's fantastic. It's free. Go get Ulean. It's great for determining LUFS. What else was the other app that just came out too that had a LUFS thing in it? Something else did? Or am I, yeah, my brain. Here we go. Princess LDG. Hang in there, my dear. This is her track. So, here's her track. And you add Final Touch. Final Touch. Grand Finale. Whoops. As an AUV3, so it works. And you'll notice the main difference is, as an AUV3, the section to import files is missing. You can't access your presets up here, so that's another thing. There's parameters open. I don't know why you would want to. Yeah, so I guess you could add an LFO. Have an LFO control your compressor up and down. Maybe not. Maybe that would be foolish. So here we are with Princess's song. Let's just start with the gentle master, because we know how gentle it's going to be. Whoa. I am calling you.
now, and pick up the phone. I know you're there. I know you've been living in despair. I know, life hasn't been easy. I know, you've been struggling, but you have to know things will get better. Things will get better, my dear. It hurts me, seeing you struggling. It saddens me, seeing you numb your pain with drinks. Those aren't gonna help you.
All right, so let's run through some of the presets in each section while we're here now. So with each of these, they have their own little presets. So with the compressor, we have a gentle and hard, right? In the multi-band compressor, we have a few in here. We've got a tighten bass, squeeze, heavy squeeze, extreme, and a vocal enhancer. Let's pop it on vocal enhancer just for fun. Now down here with our additive signal path, we have a bunch of distortions. So you can choose to distort the bass, the low mids, high mids. You can add some sparkle or an extreme distortion. We'll try a few out with this song, and we'll try and blow this song right out and make it really crazy. Then you've got with your compressor. So again, another compressor, a fast compressor, fast 2, a slow. It's a lot of compression. With our stereo width, this is interesting. So you've got a center bass, widen top and widen all. So now this is clearly not going to work if you're recording in mono. Who's doing that? But think about this too. So if you are putting this on a vocal track in your mix and you want to pop the vocal out a little bit, you decide to maybe use a couple of things in here and you decide to use the width. Remember, vocals normally are recorded as a mono track, so it's not really going to make any difference. So you'd want to turn off something like this. You know, it's not really going to, widening a vocal doesn't make sense. You've got a couple of settings in here for your equalizer. So only 2, you've got acoustic and ambient. Look at the difference between them. Is there any difference? So this is the thing. This is what the struggle I found with the last grand finale is when you change these, nothing changes on the dial. You're still dialing in a sound. Underneath these is where the algorithms sit, and you don't have access to them. This is part of the frustration I find with the original. And again, it's kind of here. But, you know, you can work around this stuff. So we'll just put this to default again. Let's hit play. We'll go back to the start and we'll mess around with some of these things and we'll blow it out. We'll add some distortion. We'll center the bass with the width and see how that sounds. Let's do that. Turn on this width. So you see what I mean there? When we add these presets, it's already widening it. So you don't really have any control over it. So that's why I tend to leave these as defaults. It is what it is. Let's hit play again and mess around with these distortions.
I know, life hasn't been easy. I know, you've been struggling, but you have to know.
So with this additive signal path, you're not going to hear anything in here until you give it some gain and the mix. So the gain and this button here, this is controlling a mix of these and it's adding gain to it as well. Interesting. Let's hit play again.
Things will get better. Things will get better, my dear. It hurts me.
So you can hear that sparkle.
You struggling. It saddens me. Seeing you numb your pain with drinks.
Again, if you're going to use it very sparingly, like I could turn this up, but I would pull it. It's just my preference. You do things, you do you, but that's what I'm hearing.
Those aren't gonna help you. Those aren't gonna help you. Oh, it's true. I know, life hasn't been easy. I know, you've been struggling. But you have to know things will get better. Things will.
So let's talk about the multi-band compressor and how this works. Let me just go over here for a second and I'll show you how it works. Where am I? I'm looking for this so we can show you how this works and let it explain here. So multi-band, where did you go? Did I pass it? I sure did. A multi-band compressor. So you've got compression and you've got, I think which color is which? The 4-band is, so the compression's in red. So this is your compression. By pulling down is the amount of compression, and the makeup gain, because when you compress it, when you're adding compression, it's taking the peaks and it's pulling them down, right? And you need to add makeup gain to bring the levels back up, yeah? So this is why I'm saying with all this compression going on, you're just piling and piling. Now this could work really good for dance music, definitely. So when you're adding compression here and pulling this down, this is where you need to kind of balance it out by giving it some makeup gain. So click to drag compression level to the amount of compression. 0 equals none, 100 equals max compression. The levels left of the line of the gain reduction by drawing upwards. So you're balancing things out. So click and drag the makeup gain to alter the amount of makeup gain from 0 to plus 16 or down to minus 16. So that is your points of, it'd be nice if the EQ had more bands to play with. I would like to clean up some of the low mids with EQ rather than a multi-band. Yeah, exactly. My opinion, and look, everybody's going to have their own opinion. I would not use this multi-band compressor. I would rather there was a mid EQ. There was, instead of just a low and high, that would be much beneficial, I think. What else we'll cover here? Where we've got the instructions up here. So I think we've covered all that. Oh yeah, so we've got a solo button in here too, which is handy. We'll go back in here and hit play.
Get better.
And you can solo the additive signal part. So you can hear what's actually being added to the rest. Nice. I really like this. We'll hit play again. So you can hear what that distortion's doing now. So we've got a gain. Again, like everything, minimal. So now when we unsolo this, you can see what it's adding. It is a nice touch, Mixcloud.
I know, life hasn't been easy. I know, you've been struggling. But you have to know things will get better. Things will get
So here's the original sound, and here's the master.
It saddens me seeing you numb your pain with drinks. Those aren't gonna help you. Those aren't gonna help you. Oh, it's true.
So how would you master this? Keep in mind, folks, I've been under headphones for an hour. Again, I'm going to bring this up. I know I bring it up on shows all the time, but you know, if you're new to the channel and you're watching this on the replay, you haven't heard my take on mastering, which I do every weekend. If you'd like to become plug time a Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 a month, and every weekend we have a 2-hour show on the Patreon where you send me your tracks in and I'll master them live on the channel. What's going on, Chris Lane Sr.? You're coming on the show tomorrow, so we'll see you. Yes, that's where I'm heading at. LDG is ear fatigue. I'm sitting here under headphones, right? I saw, and why I keep telling you guys to go and click on the Mix Club's channel, Rhett's channel, right? There he is. Go do it. Very knowledgeable man. He even gave me a really cool idea the other day. He has a little plug-in which has a timer running to let him know about ear fatigue, telling him you've been listening for too long, and a little alarm goes off and tells him to go do something else. The struggle is real with ear fatigue. Short bursts because your ears, the makeup of your eardrum changes over time. It's like when you go to a Metallica concert and listen to Distortion for 3 hours and really bad guitar playing by Kirk Hammett. Right? You come out of there and your hearing's all fucked for ages. Unlike a Cannibal Corpse gig where your hearing's perfect afterwards because the guitar playing's sick. Anyway, yeah, but regular breaks are seriously very important. So you can hear what's going on. But getting back to this, so how can we master this here in something like AUM? Glad you asked. So while we're in here, we can just hit the little record button down the bottom and then hit record up here and let it go. So in real time, you could change this in real time. If there was a part in the song you wanted to change, we'll turn it down. So there's a part in the song where you wanted to automate yourself, you could go in here and do that while it's recording. So that's very handy, being an AUV3. Yeah? Now, I haven't sat here and given this a proper master because we got a show to do, but we'll have a look at how it comes out. See you later, Mix Club. Folks, do yourself a favor and go and subscribe to him. He's got a lot of valuable stuff that can really help you out with mixing and mastering. Trust me. Sorry for nagging it. Chris Lane Sr. doing vocals today. My ears and voice were trashed. Wouldn't dream of mixing right now. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Be kind to your ears, folks. You've only got 2 of them. So just so you know, this song that we're listening to now, I'm currently doing a mix of this for Princess. I'm bringing these drums out a little bit, adding a bit of some stuff, and I'm playing some bass on it because there's no bass on this song. There's only piano, drums, and 4 vocal tracks. So I'm going to add some bass to this for her. That's what I'm using. Thanks, Phosphat. Fertilizer. I'm fertilizing Princess's drums. So yeah, once this is done, all you got to do is stop this recording. We'll let it go all the way to the end. It's a great, cool song. So Princess is new to our community and she's writing some great stuff. Now, I reckon this is going to be a little bit low. So all I need to do now is hit the little record up here to stop that. It'll stop down here. And now that has been saved into the recordings folder, which I don't need to access here because I can just go straight into, into audio share, where all these files get stored in AUM recordings, today's date, and there's the track. So definitely I could have gone a hell of a lot louder with that. Yeah, you can tell. Like, here's the thing. I've got so used to mastering, and people say don't master with your eyes. But I can see just with this part here in the middle that that could go up another maybe 1.5 dB, definitely for, let's see how good I am. Just by looking. It'd probably even go up by 2. Where are we? That is... What was that track? What was it called? It was called... it's that one there. LDG bracket 2. It's this one. At 908. Yep, that's it. Load. Oops. Yeah. See? So about 2 dB I could have gone up there and given that a whole lot more. So clearly we could go back into AUM, go back and give this. And we could get away with that, yeah? That would probably be a pretty decent master. Yeah, so there is a look at grand finale. Is there anything else that I was going to do with this? So you can open this up on individual tracks. Not a problem. All good in the hood. Yeah. And there are, let's go through up here. So there are lots of spiciness. You've got, let's zoom in. You do have a lot of presets here. So you've got bus presets. So live FX bus presets, acoustic guitar sweetening. You have things like drums. So live drum stuff. For, you know, if we open up something like, let's just do a hammerhead or something. Hammerhead. We'll get a beat happening in here. Just load a general kind of beat. So you get what's going on in there. We've also got some vocal stuff in here as well. Let's just quickly throw in a vocal track. What have we got plugged in? Vocal over here. Let's grab a mic. Boom. Turn down this one. Yo! So we can add a grand finale in here. And if you want to spice up your vocals a bit, we'll go in here, hit some vocals. We got some warm vocals. Oh, we got some vintage vocals. Oh, my. We got some trashy vocal. Wow. Jesus Christ, have some volume. We got some airy vocals. So if you have a look at this too, you'll notice the sparkle has been selected with this. And so you can hear there's a lot more air in this. Oh, my little child, yeah, my. Compared to this warmer vocal, my child, only fools rush in. Don't want to get a copyright claim, but we got vintage stuff in here too. So you can get some pretty decent results on vocals. Yeah, pretty decent. Let's turn that off. What else? Can we throw in some bass or something like that? What can we do? Let's quickly, just to wrap up, because Thomas is starting later today, so I've got a bit of room to mess around. So if we go in here and just, what do? We'll grab a scaler. Yeah, grab a scaler. We'll throw in something like, hopefully this will work. Pure synth. Hopefully all my sounds are in here. Please, 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 please. Maybe they're not. Oh, they're in here. That's cool. That's cool. So we'll just grab some basses, just a picking bass or something. Electric bass or something like that. Here we go, just a finger pick bass. Let's hook up this scaler to pure synth. Go in here, set this to DAW sync on 4 beats, and we'll find a scale, whatever it is, I don't really care. And we'll do a perform and find a bass, find some bass, How low can you go? Or some songs. What do you got? Let's just find rock or something like that. Or metal. There we go. Metal. Oh, that'll do. And we've got to send this out to pure synth. That's not what I want. That'll do for now. Give that some volume. Now let's add grand finale. Let's see what this does to the bass. I know it's not the best bass lick I could come up with. Boom. What about a finger picked bass? There we go. Performances, where are we? Common bass. Some punk bass. So we get some distortion, so you can get some dirt out of this. Cut the bass. But again, my concern is with something like this is why wouldn't you just use a compressor or, you know, something more specific? That sounds nice. So, look, you do have plenty of options. What I would recommend too with this is you can use this in your signal chain at the end of something like Cubasis. As I said, you can't use it in GarageBand at the end because there isn't a master channel in GarageBand. That sucks. But clearly you could use it in AUM, put it on a couple of tracks, have it at the end of a signal chain in AUM to do your mastering direct out of here. You can open it as a standalone. So there's a far more options than the original grand finale. Hey, if you're a fan of the original grand finale, there's a whole lot more here. It looks nicer. It pushes a lot. Everything's really in your face, but you can tame it back. And I think like anything, like any new app, you've got to get used to it, play around with it and find out, what everything does. Get used to the algorithms that are under there as well. And yeah, good stuff. The best thing is that we're continuously given fantastic options here on iOS to do these kind of things, yeah? So if one app doesn't work for you, there may be something else that does work and does the job that you need. So hopefully doing this show has helped you make that decision. Remember, apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need them all. You need the ones that help you make better music, because making music is what it's all about, not about collecting apps. There's no point sitting there with an iPad full of fucking apps if you're making no music at all. Seriously. It's one of the reasons I focus on people's music at the start of the show and interview artists, because the music's important. The apps help us make the amazing music that so many of you make. All right? Good stuff. Thomas Christ has a show coming up in about 40 minutes where, guess what? He's playing your music because you guys rock. You rock. And I want to thank you all once again for supporting the channel, being members, Wart Warriors, for people who are on my Patreon, and people who come here every day and hang out with me and leave comments and all that jazz. Very kind of you to continue doing so. I hope some of you are enjoying the shorts that I'm doing each day. They seem to be really making a difference. I'm going to continue doing those. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I've wasted enough of your time.
Oops. Oh, hello?
Boom. I've wasted enough of your time. So at the end of the show, there will be a little prompt that will send you over to Thomas's show. Man, I'm sweating so hot. It is so hot here, and it's gross at the moment here in Melbourne. We went from torrential thunderstorms for the last 3 weeks with floods to weather that is like, it's 9 a.m. and I'm sweating like a pig. It's gross. All right. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. And we'll all rise together. And I'll see you tomorrow with Chris Lane Sr. You're going to love it. He's awesome. The man, the myth, the fan, all of that. I can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Boom.